Welcome to Serenity Path. As we stand on the threshold of 2025, a new year filled with endless possibilities, it's time to pause and reflect. The world is moving faster than ever before, and the noise of daily life can sometimes drown out what truly matters. But here's the thing, 2025 is not just another year. It's your year. It's the year to embrace change, to break free from the routines that hold you back, and to take a bold step forward on your journey of personal transformation. Imagine a year where you're no longer stuck in the cycle of chaos and distraction. A year where you make the decision to prioritize yourself, to reconnect with your purpose, and to start living in alignment with your true self. This is the year to focus inward, to unlock your potential, and to transform your life from the inside out. But it starts with you. In this video, we're diving deep into 10 Buddhist lessons you need to make 2025 the year you reclaim your life. From mastering your focus to letting go of the things that no longer serve you, we'll guide you through powerful practices that will help you grow, evolve, and thrive. Stay with us till the end to catch every valuable insight, because the change you're looking for starts right here, right now. 1. The importance of self-awareness. Have you ever felt like you're just going through the motions, constantly running but not getting anywhere? It's easy to get swept up in the daily chaos of life, the emails, the meetings, the endless stream of notifications, and forget to check in with yourself. But here's the thing, true growth and transformation start with self-awareness. You can't change what you don't understand. Self-awareness is about being fully present in the moment and understanding your thoughts, emotions, and reactions without judgment. It's like shining a light in a dark room. Suddenly, you can see the path ahead and the obstacles that lie in your way. When you stop, take a breath, and reflect on your actions and reactions, you create the space to truly know yourself. Take a moment to ask yourself, do you truly know who you are? Not who the world says you should be or who you've become in response to external expectations, but who you really are at your core. What emotions shape your decisions? What habits or patterns hold you back? These questions are your starting point. For instance, let's take someone like Oprah Winfrey, a person who, despite facing unimaginable hardships, reached the pinnacle of success. Her rise to stardom wasn't just about her talent, it was about her incredible self-awareness. Oprah often speaks about how understanding her inner voice helped her overcome the obstacles in her life. She faced rejection, disappointment, and loss, but she always checked in with herself, asking, "What does my heart tell me? What is my purpose?" That self-awareness allowed her to chart her own path, and it's something we all have the power to do. Buddhist teachings emphasize that awareness is the key to liberation. When we become mindful, we free ourselves from automatic reactions. Instead of being controlled by our emotions or thoughts, we become the observer. Think about it like this, imagine you're watching a movie. If you're caught up in the action, it's hard to see the bigger picture. But if you sit back and watch, you can start to understand the characters, the plot, and where it's all leading. Your life works the same way. To begin practicing self-awareness, start small. Each day, take a few minutes to reflect. Journaling is a great way to do this. Write about your day, what made you happy, what stressed you out, and why. What patterns do you notice in your responses? This isn't about fixing yourself overnight, it's about noticing, about paying attention to your thoughts and actions. What do I feel right now? This simple question is an easy place to start. Sit in a quiet space, close your eyes, and ask yourself that question. Let the answers come naturally, without judgment. Are you anxious? Excited? Angry? Whatever it is, let it be. This is where transformation begins. By simply noticing, you open the door to change. Let me share another example. Think of someone like Elon Musk. Whether you admire him or not, there's no denying the power of his self-awareness. Despite the immense pressure of running companies like Tesla and SpaceX, Musk takes time for deep reflection. He often talks about how he's in tune with his own mindset, constantly asking himself, what's the next big thing I need to tackle? What's my purpose right now? This level of self-awareness allows him to make groundbreaking decisions that shape the future. Self-awareness, in the Buddhist sense, isn't about achieving perfection, it's about clarity. When you know yourself, you can start to shed the distractions that hold you back. In a world where everything is moving faster and faster, this is your anchor. It's your foundation for growth. So, here's your mantra for the day: I am the observer of my thoughts and emotions. Try to repeat this to yourself throughout the day. When you find yourself reacting to something or feeling stressed, pause and remember that you are in control of how you respond. Remember, self-awareness isn't about fixing yourself. It's about noticing. Notice your thoughts. Notice your reactions. Notice the patterns. This simple act of reflection opens up the space for growth and transformation. Over time, as you continue this practice, you'll begin to notice that the things that used to stress you out no longer have the same power over you. You will start to make decisions based on what truly matters to you, not what others expect. The more you practice self-awareness, the more your true self will emerge. As you step off the treadmill of life, you will start to walk in alignment with your purpose, creating a life that reflects who you truly are, not who others think you should be. The next time life feels overwhelming, ask yourself, what do I feel right now? Start there. It's a simple question with the power to transform your entire life. 2. Define your why, the power of purpose. Have you ever felt lost, like you're drifting through life without a clear direction? It's easy to get caught up in the rush of everyday tasks, constantly moving but never really knowing why. But here's the truth, without purpose, you're like a ship adrift on the open sea, tossed by every wave, every gust of wind. Purpose is your anchor. It's the invisible thread that pulls you forward, guiding you through the noise of life and keeping you grounded in what truly matters. So, I ask you, why do you do what you do? Why do you wake up each morning, go to work, chase success, or strive to reach goals? What is your why, the deeper reason that drives you? Without this clarity, your goals might feel hollow, your actions might lack meaning, and success might feel empty even when you achieve it. Let's take a moment to reflect on someone who embodies the power of purpose, Steve Jobs. He didn't build Apple just for the sake of creating a product. His purpose was much deeper. He wanted to make a dent in the universe. He wasn't just selling gadgets, he was selling an idea, a vision for how technology could change the world. That powerful why was the fuel that kept him going, even when things got tough, even when Apple was on the brink of collapse. He didn't just want success, he wanted to change the way we live and think. His purpose gave him resilience, clarity, and the determination to keep pushing forward, no matter the obstacle. Buddhist philosophy teaches us that our why isn't just about what we do or have. It's about why we do it. This principle aligns perfectly with the Buddhist concept of Dharma, the path of truth and purpose. When we align our actions with our deeper purpose, everything falls into place. Life becomes more meaningful, and success feels more fulfilling. Without purpose, we are at the mercy of external forces, society's expectations, the pressure to perform, the rush to achieve. But when we define our why, we step into the driver's seat of our own lives, steering ourselves in the direction that truly matters. Let's explore what this might look like in real life. Imagine you're standing at a fork in the road, and you have two options. One path is crowded with people, promising quick rewards, fame, wealth, recognition, but it doesn't quite resonate with your heart. The other path is quieter, uncertain, but it feels right deep inside. You know it will be harder, but it also feels more true to your values. Which path would you take? It's easy to choose the crowded path, the one that promises quick success, but if it doesn't align with your purpose, it will feel empty. Like a car without fuel, you might get far, but you won't have the energy to go the distance. The quieter path, though, might seem daunting, but it will resonate with your soul. It's the path that's aligned with your values, your inner compass guiding you towards something that feels meaningful, fulfilling, and true to who you are. Let me give you an example. Think about Malala Yousafzai, the youngest ever Nobel Prize laureate. Malala didn't stand up for girls' education because it was trendy or popular. Her purpose was clear. She wanted to ensure that every girl, regardless of where she was born, had the right to education. Even after surviving an assassination attempt by the Taliban, her purpose was unwavering. Her why wasn't just a mission, it was a calling that fueled her courage, resilience, and determination to make a difference. She didn't seek fame or recognition, she followed her heart and stayed aligned with her purpose, even when the road was incredibly difficult. The same principle applies to you. When you define your why, you give your life direction. You begin to focus on what truly matters, and suddenly, everything else, the distractions, the pressure, the noise, begins to fade into the background. With a clear purpose, every decision becomes easier. Your why becomes your guiding light, your filter for choices. You start asking yourself, does this align with my purpose? And if the answer is no, you're able to let go of it without hesitation. The key is to take the time to reflect. Ask yourself, why do I wake up every day? Why do I chase these goals? The answer may not come immediately, and that's okay. Be patient. Just like cultivating a garden, discovering your purpose takes time, reflection, and a willingness to listen to your heart. Here's a practice to help uncover your why. Find a quiet space and ask yourself, what truly matters to me? Don't rush the answer, let it rise naturally, like a lotus flower emerging from the mud. Write down the first 3 things that come to mind. These are the seeds of your purpose, the things that light you up and give your life meaning. From there, you can begin to align your actions with these values. Here's your mantra for the day: I choose purpose over distraction, clarity over chaos. Repeat this to yourself every time you feel lost or overwhelmed. Let your why be the filter through which you make decisions. This mantra will ground you and help you stay connected to your purpose, no matter what life throws your way. To wrap this up, I want to leave you with this: your purpose isn't about following what others think is best for you. It's about living in alignment with what feels true to your heart. When you discover your why, you unlock a power that can't be shaken by external circumstances. Like Nelson Mandela, who dedicated his life to justice and equality, or Richard Branson, who built an empire not just to create wealth, but to change the world through his businesses, these individuals succeeded not because they chased fame, but because they followed their purpose. They knew their why, and it carried them through the most challenging moments. Find your why. Define it, hold on to it, and let it guide every decision you make. The power of purpose will transform your life, just as it has for so many others. When you live with purpose, life becomes clearer, more meaningful, and more fulfilling. 3. The practice of detachment. In a world that thrives on validation, likes, comments, praise, and approval, it's easy to fall into the trap of seeking constant affirmation from others. We measure our worth by how others see us, and it can feel like we're constantly chasing something we can never quite catch. But what if I told you that true freedom comes not from seeking others' approval, but from letting go of the need for it altogether? In Buddhist philosophy, detachment doesn't mean apathy. It doesn't mean turning your back on the world or retreating from life. It means releasing the tight grip on things that you can't control, people's opinions, material success, fleeting recognition. When you let go of attachment, you free yourself from the endless cycle of craving and disappointment. Instead of feeling constantly pulled in different directions, you become anchored in your own truth, secure in who you are, no matter what others think. Take a moment to think about this. How much of your energy goes into trying to please others? How much time do you spend measuring your worth based on how many likes your post gets, or whether or not you're getting praise for your work? We're often told that success is about reaching external milestones, being liked, being admired, being seen as successful. But here's the harsh truth: external validation is never enough. It's like trying to fill a cup with a hole in the bottom. No matter how much praise or recognition you get, it'll always leak away, leaving you feeling empty. I want you to think about Buddha's teachings on craving. He said, craving leads to suffering. When we crave approval or success, we place our happiness in the hands of others. We put our peace in the hands of what we can't control. But the moment we let go of that need, we step into freedom. Consider Mahatma Gandhi, one of the most influential figures in history. He was ridiculed by the British Empire, and even by some of his own countrymen, for his methods of peaceful protest and non-violent resistance. Yet, Gandhi wasn't looking for approval or recognition. His mission was to fight for justice, equality, and freedom, no matter the external consequences. He was detached from the need for praise or acknowledgement. His purpose was greater than any recognition he might receive, and that's why his legacy endures today. Detachment doesn't mean abandoning your dreams or your passions. It's about letting go of the need for external validation while still pursuing what feels true to you. It's about doing the work because it aligns with your values, not because of the recognition you expect to receive. Let me give you an example from everyday life. Imagine you're working on a project, whether it's a creative pursuit or a business venture. You pour your heart into it. You know it's something you care deeply about, but you start to wonder, what will people think? Will they approve of what I'm doing? It's easy to get caught in that cycle of seeking validation. But here's a simple exercise to break free: focus on the process, not the outcome. Ask yourself, am I proud of the effort I'm putting in? Does this work reflect my true values? When you shift your focus from seeking approval to being proud of your own efforts, you free yourself from the need for external validation. You become less affected by others' opinions because you know the value of your work doesn't depend on others' approval. You start to experience true freedom, the freedom to be yourself without needing others to affirm it. Take Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, for example. Despite being one of the highest-paid actors and successful entrepreneurs today, he's always been very open about how he works on his own terms, not for the recognition but because of his passion and drive. When he first entered the world of wrestling, he wasn't looking for approval from others. He was focused on his own journey and his own growth. It's this detachment from needing others' approval that has allowed him to build a multifaceted empire, one that's built on his values, not on external expectations. Here's a simple practice to help you cultivate detachment in your life: set boundaries. Social media can be a major source of stress and comparison. If it triggers feelings of inadequacy or the desire to be validated by likes or comments, consider curating your online space. Mute accounts that make you feel small or insignificant, and limit your screen time. The less you feed the need for external validation, the more you'll focus on what really matters: your internal growth and peace. Another practice is to pause before reacting to criticism or praise. Imagine someone gives you a compliment. Instead of immediately reacting with gratitude or trying to prove you're worthy of it, just pause. Take a breath and ask yourself, what is my truth? Do I need this validation to feel good about myself? The same applies to criticism. Instead of immediately defending yourself, pause and ask, is there truth in what they are saying? If so, how can I learn from it? Your mantra for today: I release the need for validation. I am enough as I am. Repeat this whenever you feel the urge to seek approval from others. Remind yourself that your worth isn't defined by likes, praise, or societal standards. You are enough, just as you are. Ultimately, detachment is about realizing that you don't need others' opinions to be happy. You don't need external markers of success to feel fulfilled. It's about turning inward, finding joy within yourself, and standing firm in your truth. When you detach from the need for external validation, you tap into a deeper, more lasting peace. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care about the world, it means you care about yourself enough to not let external forces control your inner peace. When you let go of the need for approval, you give yourself the freedom to live authentically, and that's where true peace lies. 4. Control what you can, let go of what you can't. In life, there are things that are within your control, and there are things that are completely out of your hands. Yet, we often spend a lot of our time and energy trying to control the uncontrollable, worrying about things that haven't happened yet, stressing over other people's actions, and agonizing over situations we cannot change. But here's the truth, true peace comes when we focus on what we can control and let go of what we can't. Think about it for a moment. How often do you find yourself tangled in thoughts about things beyond your control? Maybe it's a missed opportunity, a harsh comment from someone, or an unexpected turn in life. We all do it. It's natural to want to fix everything, to want to steer the ship when the waters get rough. But in trying to control the uncontrollable, we only create more suffering for ourselves. Buddha taught us that attachment, whether to people, outcomes, or even expectations, leads to suffering. This idea is at the heart of the Buddhist teachings on impermanence. Life is always changing, and the more we cling to outcomes or try to control situations that are out of our hands, the more we set ourselves up for disappointment. The key is to focus on what you can control, your reactions, your thoughts, and your actions. Let's take Barack Obama, for example. Throughout his presidency, Obama faced countless challenges, political opposition, global crises, and public scrutiny. Yet, he often spoke about the importance of focusing on what he could control. He didn't waste time getting caught up in things beyond his control, like the opposition's opinions or events happening far beyond his reach. Instead, he focused on making the best decisions he could within his role, knowing that everything else was outside of his hands. His success came not from trying to control the world around him, but from mastering his response to it. Buddhist teachings encourage us to see that peace comes from within, not from trying to change the world, but from learning to change how we respond to it. Imagine you're in a small boat on a vast ocean. The waves rise, the wind blows, and the current pulls you in unexpected directions. You can't control the sea, but you can control how you steer your boat. You adjust your sails, you steady your course, and you keep moving forward. Life is much like this. You can't control the storms, but you can control how you navigate through them. A perfect example of this in real life is Malala Yousafzai, whose life story is a testament to this principle. Malala was shot by the Taliban for standing up for girls' education in Pakistan. She didn't have control over the violent actions of those who tried to silence her, but she chose how to respond. Instead of giving in to fear or resentment, she channeled her pain into a mission to empower girls worldwide through education. She focused on what she could control, her message, her voice, and her platform, and used that to create positive change. She didn't allow herself to be controlled by the hatred of others. Instead, she let go of what she couldn't control and focused on making an impact in the areas she could. Here's where we can begin to apply this principle to our own lives. Start by identifying what's within your control. Ask yourself, what can I influence? Is it my effort? My mindset? My ability to respond to challenges? Start there. Focus on what you can do to move forward, even if the path isn't clear. For example, if you're facing a setback at work, don't focus on the factors you can't control, like company politics or external economic conditions. Instead, focus on your actions. Can you improve your skills? Can you seek feedback or find new ways to approach the problem? When you shift your energy from worrying about the uncontrollable to acting on what you can control, you create a sense of empowerment. You take back control over your life. This principle also applies to your relationships. Sometimes, people behave in ways that are hurtful, or they make decisions that affect you. But you can't control others. What you can control is how you respond. Instead of reacting with frustration or anger, take a moment to reflect, how can I respond in a way that aligns with my values? What is the best course of action for me, given the situation? By focusing on your own behavior and response, you maintain your peace of mind and regain control over your emotional state. Here's a powerful practice to help you in this process. start with a daily check-in. Each day, take a moment to reflect on your circumstances and ask yourself, what is within my control today? What is not? Then, take action on what you can control and consciously let go of what you cannot. Remind yourself that, I am the master of my own response. It's also helpful to visualize letting go of the uncontrollable. Imagine holding a rope that's tied to a heavy stone. The more you hold on, the heavier it becomes. Now, imagine slowly loosening your grip and letting go of the rope. Feel the weight lift as you release it. This is how you can release attachment to things beyond your control, by consciously choosing to let go. Your mantra for the day: I focus on what I can control and release what I cannot. Repeat this throughout the day whenever you feel yourself becoming overwhelmed by things you cannot change. It will help bring you back to the present moment and allow you to regain your inner peace. The practice of letting go doesn't mean giving up on life or on your dreams. It simply means you acknowledge the limits of your control and choose to focus your energy on what you can influence. By doing this, you give yourself the freedom to live fully, without being weighed down by things beyond your reach. When you focus on what you can control, your thoughts, actions, and reactions, you take back the power that's often lost in trying to control the uncontrollable. The storms of life will come, but your ability to navigate them with grace, resilience, and wisdom is within your control. Let go of what you can't change, and watch how your life begins to transform with newfound peace and clarity. 5. Align actions with values. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you accomplished something, perhaps a promotion, an award, or a big win, but it felt empty? You worked hard, you achieved your goal, but deep down, you knew it wasn't really you. Maybe it didn't align with what you truly value. It's a hollow victory, and that's because success doesn't feel fulfilling unless it's in harmony with your core values. True fulfillment comes when your actions are aligned with your values. Think about it for a moment. What are your values? Are they integrity, compassion, family, creativity, growth? Are you living in a way that reflects these values, or are you simply following the path others have laid out for you? Do your actions reflect the truth of who you are? Buddhism teaches us that our actions must reflect our true selves, and that's where the concept of the Eightfold Path comes in. The Eightfold Path encourages living with intention, mindfulness, and purpose. Every action should be in line with your values. This is the key to not only personal success but inner peace. When your actions align with your values, life becomes more fluid, less forced, and much more satisfying. Take Mahatma Gandhi as an example. He could have easily chosen a path of political power and wealth, but instead, he chose to live according to his deepest values: nonviolence, justice, and truth. His commitment to these values wasn't just about what he said or believed, it was about what he did. Gandhi's life is a living example of how powerful it is when actions and values are aligned. His simple lifestyle, his refusal to engage in violence, and his dedication to civil rights all reflected his personal values, and that's what made his actions so impactful. He didn't just talk the talk, he walked the walk. Aligning your actions with your values means that you live authentically, in accordance with your deepest beliefs. When you make decisions based on your values, you don't feel torn between what you should do and what you want to do. There's a peace that comes with knowing that everything you do is in line with who you are, and that peace is priceless. But, here's the challenge: life can be full of pressures. Ambition pushes us to achieve, to get ahead, to climb the ladder. Society's expectations tell us what success looks like, what we should want. And it's easy to start making decisions that serve others' desires for us, instead of our own. The question is, are you chasing goals that truly matter to you, or are you simply trying to meet external standards of success? Imagine standing at a crossroads in life. One path is well paved, crowded with others, promising fame, wealth, and the validation of society. But as you walk down that path, something doesn't feel quite right. It's not that you're not achieving things, but there's a disconnect between who you are and what you're doing. You start to wonder, is this really my path, or am I just following the crowd? The other path is less clear, less traveled, but as you look down it, you feel a deep sense of peace. This path aligns with your values, even though it might not promise the quick rewards of the other path. Take Ellen DeGeneres as an example. When Ellen first started her career, the industry wasn't ready for an openly gay talk show host. She faced rejection, and yet, she chose to be authentic to herself. Her values of kindness, laughter, and being true to who you are became the foundation for everything she did. She could have chosen a path that compromised her truth for success, but instead, she aligned her actions with her values, and this is what made her an icon. The way she treated people on her show, the joy she brought, and her advocacy for LGBTQ+ rights were all rooted in her values. Aligning your actions with your values means making hard choices sometimes. It might mean saying no to opportunities that don't resonate with who you are. It might mean stepping away from things that no longer serve you, even if they promise external rewards. For instance, if your value is creativity, you might choose a job that allows you to express yourself fully, even if it means earning less money or having a less conventional career. If your value is family, you might choose to spend more time with loved ones, even if it means sacrificing some of your professional ambitions. The point is to honor your values, even when the world around you tells you otherwise. Here's a simple exercise: take a moment to write down your top 3 core values. These could be things like integrity, honesty, love, or compassion. Then, next to each value, write one action you can take today to honor that value. For example, if compassion is one of your values, maybe today you commit to being kinder to yourself, or offering support to someone who's struggling. If growth is a value, perhaps you choose to read a book, take a class, or try something new. Let's think about someone like Steve Jobs, who is often seen as a symbol of innovation. Steve Jobs didn't just build Apple to create products. He wanted to put a dent in the universe, to create technology that was beautiful, intuitive, and transformative. His values of creativity, design, and pushing boundaries were reflected in everything he did. He wasn't interested in just making money or following trends, he wanted to create products that would change how people lived. When your actions align with your values, you stop chasing empty goals and start doing work that has a deeper meaning. Your mantra for the day: I will live in alignment with my values. I will make decisions that reflect my true self. Let this mantra guide you throughout your day. Each time you make a decision, pause and ask yourself, does this reflect who I am? Does this align with my values? It's a small practice, but over time, it builds a life of meaning and authenticity. In the end, aligning your actions with your values is what will give your life true meaning. When you act according to your core beliefs, you feel fulfilled, centered, and at peace. There's no greater success than living a life that feels true to who you are. Like Oprah Winfrey, who followed her values of authenticity and empowerment to build an empire, or Ellen DeGeneres, who built her brand on kindness and inclusivity, these are examples of people who didn't just succeed in the traditional sense. They succeeded because they aligned their actions with their deepest values. When your actions align with your values, success becomes more than just achieving external goals. It becomes about living in a way that feels authentic, meaningful, and deeply fulfilling. Align your actions with your values, and watch how your life transforms with purpose and peace. 6. Master focus, the superpower of presence. In a world that constantly pulls us in 1,000 directions, mastering focus has become one of the most powerful skills you can develop. Our attention is under siege: emails, notifications, social media, endless tasks. It's easy to feel overwhelmed and scattered, as though you're trying to juggle too many things at once. But here's the secret: the true power lies in being fully present, in mastering your focus. Think about it: how many times have you tried to multitask, only to realize that you weren't really doing any of it well? You're answering emails while watching a video, scrolling through your feed, all while trying to have a conversation. It seems productive, but in reality, it divides your energy and leaves you drained. We've all been there. We think that by spreading our attention across multiple things, we're being more efficient, but the truth is that multitasking dilutes your focus and reduces your productivity. Now, ask yourself, when was the last time you truly focused on one thing, without distractions? When was the last time you sat down, fully immersed in a task or a conversation, without your mind wandering to something else? If you can't remember, don't worry. You're not alone. The modern world makes it hard to focus. But the truth is, mastering focus is one of the most powerful superpowers you can cultivate. Buddhist philosophy offers profound insight into the power of focus. The Buddha taught that the mind is like a garden. If you don't tend to it, weeds of distraction, negativity, and unnecessary thoughts will grow. But when you nurture it with mindfulness and concentration, you can create a beautiful, peaceful space where clarity and wisdom can thrive. In the Buddhist tradition, meditation is the practice of training the mind to focus, to quiet the constant chatter and distractions, and to be fully present in the moment. Let's take Warren Buffett, one of the most successful investors in the world. He attributes much of his success to his ability to focus deeply. Unlike many in the business world who bounce from one thing to another, Buffett has an ability to sit and think for long periods of time, carefully considering decisions without distraction. He doesn't let the noise of the world pull him away from his focus. His focus isn't just about making money, it's about making decisions that align with his values and his long-term vision. Here's the key, focus isn't a talent, it's a skill. And like any skill, it can be developed with practice. The more you train your mind to focus, the stronger your ability to be present becomes. And when you're truly present, life becomes clearer. You're more productive, more effective, and more at peace. Let's think about Serena Williams, one of the greatest athletes of all time. Her success isn't just due to her physical strength or technique, it's her focus that sets her apart. In the heat of the moment, when the crowd is roaring and the pressure is on, Serena is fully present. She's not thinking about the last point or worrying about the next one, she's focused on what's happening right now. This level of concentration has been a major factor in her career, helping her win countless titles and overcome challenges. So, how can we start mastering focus in our own lives? The answer is simple, start with mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of paying full attention to what you're doing, without judgment. Whether you're eating, walking, or having a conversation, being mindful means being fully present in that moment. When you're mindful, you're not thinking about the past, the future, or anything else that pulls your attention away. You're just here, right now. Try this simple exercise. Today, choose one task, whether it's a small task like eating lunch or a big one like a work project, and focus solely on that task. For the duration of the task, let go of any distractions. Turn off your phone, stop checking your email, and give your full attention to the task at hand. You'll be surprised at how much more effective you are when you focus entirely on what you're doing. Here's another practice to help strengthen your focus, the single-tasking method. Every day, choose 3 priorities and commit to giving your full attention to one task at a time. Set aside uninterrupted time to complete each task, and when distractions arise, gently bring your focus back. Over time, you'll find that you're not only more productive but also more present and engaged in everything you do. Your mantra for the day, I am here. I am now. I am fully present. Say this to yourself whenever you feel distracted or overwhelmed. It's a reminder that the only moment that truly matters is the present one. When you're present, you not only accomplish more, but you also experience life more fully. Let's consider a powerful story from the Buddhist tradition. There was a monk who was having trouble focusing during his meditation practice. He went to his teacher for advice, feeling frustrated and restless. His teacher gave him a simple instruction, drink your tea. The monk was confused. He was asking for help with meditation, but the teacher was asking him to focus on something as simple as drinking tea. But when the monk followed the teacher's instruction and focused only on the act of drinking tea, feeling the warmth of the cup, savoring each sip, he realized the lesson. Focus is about being present in every moment, no matter how small. This is the key to mastering focus, start small. Focus on the little things first. When you're eating, focus on the taste. When you're talking to someone, focus on their words and truly listen. The more you practice focusing on small moments, the easier it becomes to bring that same level of attention to bigger tasks. The modern world is full of distractions. But remember, focus is your superpower. The more you cultivate it, the more control you'll have over your life. When you master your focus, you can accomplish anything, with clarity and peace. You'll be able to navigate the chaos of life with a calm, steady mind, just like a candle that burns bright and steady in the dark. Focus isn't just about productivity, it's about being present in the moment. The more you practice being fully engaged in what you're doing, the more effective and peaceful you'll become. Master your focus, and you will master your life. 7. Build emotional resilience, embrace life's challenges with grace. Life isn't always smooth sailing. It's filled with unexpected challenges, setbacks, and moments of hardship. Whether it's a personal loss, a difficult work situation, or a sudden change in your circumstances, life has a way of throwing curveballs when you least expect it. But here's the truth, the way you respond to these challenges defines your path. The key isn't avoiding difficulty, but building emotional resilience, the ability to bounce back and navigate through life's storms with grace and composure. Have you ever found yourself knocked down by a setback? Maybe you were rejected for a job you really wanted, or you faced an unexpected failure. It's natural to feel disappointed or even angry. But here's the important question, how long do you stay down? How quickly can you pick yourself up, learn from the experience, and move forward? Emotional resilience is about how quickly you bounce back. It's about not letting life's challenges define you or keep you stuck. Buddhism offers profound wisdom on emotional resilience. The Buddha taught us that suffering is a part of life, but it's not the suffering itself that causes pain, it's our reaction to it. We are often consumed by our negative emotions, like anger, fear, or frustration, when things don't go the way we want. But emotional resilience is about creating space between the stimulus, the challenge, and your response. When you're able to pause, reflect, and choose your reaction, you create the opportunity for growth, not suffering. Think about someone like Nelson Mandela. After spending 27 years in prison, he emerged not with anger or resentment but with a deep commitment to reconciliation and peace. He didn't allow the pain of his imprisonment to define him. Instead, he chose to focus on the bigger picture and used his experiences to fight for justice and equality. His emotional resilience in the face of adversity is nothing short of extraordinary. Mandela's ability to let go of the pain, to not be consumed by bitterness, and to keep his focus on his higher purpose, is a powerful example of what it means to embrace life's challenges with grace. So, how can we begin to build emotional resilience in our own lives? It starts with self-awareness. When something difficult happens, instead of immediately reacting with anger or frustration, take a moment to reflect. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Why am I feeling this way? Emotions are natural, but when we understand them, we can choose how to respond. Being aware of our emotions gives us the power to not be controlled by them. One way to practice emotional resilience is through mindfulness and meditation. Just like we train our bodies through exercise, we can train our minds to be more resilient. Meditation helps us create space between our feelings and our actions. It teaches us to observe our emotions without getting caught up in them. When we experience an emotional storm, mindfulness gives us the ability to stand firm and observe without being swept away by the waves. For example, Oprah Winfrey, who has faced numerous hardships throughout her life, from a traumatic childhood to public criticism, has often spoken about the power of mindfulness. She talks about how meditation and mindfulness practices helped her build emotional resilience. Oprah has been very open about how she used these practices to overcome the obstacles she faced and to keep moving forward, no matter how difficult things got. Another important aspect of emotional resilience is changing your mindset. Instead of seeing challenges as personal failures, try to see them as opportunities for growth. Every setback is a chance to learn something new about yourself. Failure isn't something to fear, it's something to embrace. When you learn to reframe challenges as stepping stones to growth, you start to build resilience. You begin to view every challenge as a lesson, and every failure as an opportunity to become stronger. Take Thomas Edison, for example. He failed thousands of times before finally inventing the light bulb. But he didn't see those failures as a reason to quit. Instead, he viewed them as lessons, as part of the process. Edison once said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." His resilience allowed him to persist through all the difficulties and ultimately change the world. Here's a practical exercise to build emotional resilience. When you face a difficult situation, pause and take a few deep breaths. Instead of reacting right away, give yourself space to process your emotions. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What is the opportunity here for growth? This simple practice helps you build emotional resilience by creating a moment of reflection before you respond, allowing you to choose a more thoughtful and constructive reaction. Also, embrace vulnerability. It's easy to think that emotional resilience means toughing it out or pretending like everything is fine when it's not. But resilience isn't about pretending to be invincible, it's about being honest with yourself and others about what you're going through. Vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. When you allow yourself to feel and express your emotions, you open up the possibility for healing and growth. Let's think about Brené Brown, a researcher and expert on vulnerability. She's done groundbreaking work on how vulnerability can build resilience. Brown emphasizes that embracing vulnerability allows us to form deeper connections with others, to experience joy more fully, and to face life's challenges with courage. When we embrace our emotions, instead of hiding from them, we give ourselves the power to heal and grow. Your mantra for the day: I am resilient. I embrace life's challenges with grace. Repeat this mantra whenever you face difficulties. Let it remind you that you have the strength to handle whatever comes your way, and that each challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger. Ultimately, emotional resilience is about how we respond to life's challenges. It's about knowing that while you can't control everything that happens to you, you can control how you respond. When you cultivate emotional resilience, you empower yourself to face any challenge with grace, wisdom, and strength. Lesson learned: life will always present challenges, but it's not the challenges that define us, it's how we choose to respond. By building emotional resilience, we turn adversity into opportunity, struggle into growth, and setbacks into steps forward. Embrace life's challenges with grace, and you will not only survive them, you will thrive. 8. Build a growth mindset. Embrace challenges as opportunities. Life is not a destination, but a journey. And as you walk along that path, you will inevitably encounter obstacles, setbacks, and challenges. It's easy to look at these moments as failures, to feel defeated, and to wish that things would just go smoothly. But what if I told you that the challenges you face are not roadblocks, they are opportunities for growth? What if those obstacles are the very things that can unlock your potential and take you to new heights? The key to embracing life's challenges is developing a growth mindset, a belief that your abilities and intelligence can be developed with time, effort, and perseverance. A growth mindset sees every challenge as a chance to learn, adapt, and improve. When you adopt this mindset, challenges become stepping stones on your journey rather than obstacles that hold you back. You stop seeing setbacks as failures and start seeing them as part of the learning process. But how do you develop this mindset? It all begins with how you perceive challenges. Instead of shying away from difficulty, start seeing it as a natural part of growth. Every time you face a challenge, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I improve? How can I use this experience to become better? Let's look at Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Early in his career, he was actually cut from his high school basketball team. He could have easily taken that as a sign that he wasn't good enough and given up on his dream. But instead, he used that rejection as fuel. Jordan famously said, "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed. Jordan didn't see his failures as the end. He saw them as lessons that propelled him toward success. His growth mindset allowed him to see each failure as an opportunity to improve, and that mindset led him to become one of the most successful athletes in history. Buddhist philosophy teaches us that suffering is an inherent part of life, but it is through suffering that we have the chance to grow. In the face of adversity, we have two choices: to let it break us or to use it to develop strength, resilience, and wisdom. The Buddha taught that our suffering can be the source of profound personal transformation if we choose to approach it with the right mindset. Challenges and difficulties are not punishments, they are opportunities to rise above, to learn, and to evolve into the best versions of ourselves. Think of the lotus flower. It grows in the muck and mud, yet it rises above the water to bloom in all its beauty. The lotus symbolizes the idea that even in the most difficult of circumstances, we can grow and flourish. Just like the lotus, we too can emerge from the challenges and difficulties of life, stronger, wiser, and more beautiful than before. But to do so, we must adopt a growth mindset that allows us to see those challenges as the fertile soil for our personal development. A great example of this mindset in action is J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series. Before her success, Rowling faced multiple rejections from publishers, endured financial struggles, and battled feelings of inadequacy. Yet, she refused to give up. In an interview, she spoke about how her failures helped shape her writing and her career. It is impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case, you fail by default. Rowling's perseverance in the face of adversity and her ability to keep going despite countless rejections is a perfect example of how a growth mindset fuels success. So, how can you start developing your own growth mindset and embracing challenges as opportunities? Here are a few simple practices to begin. 1. Reframe failure. Instead of seeing failure as something to avoid, start seeing it as an opportunity to learn. Ask yourself, what went wrong? What can I do differently next time? How can I use this experience to improve? This shift in perspective will help you approach challenges with curiosity rather than fear. 2. Focus on effort, not just results. A growth mindset isn't just about getting things right, it's about putting in the effort and learning through the process. Celebrate the effort you put into a task, even if the outcome isn't what you expected. When you focus on the effort, rather than only the result, you create a sense of pride in your work and keep yourself motivated. 3. Embrace a yet attitude. When you encounter a challenge or struggle to master something, instead of saying, I can't do this, add the word yet. For example, I can't do this yet. This simple addition shifts your mindset from one of limitation to one of potential. You are telling yourself that you may not be able to do something now, but with time and effort, you will get there. 4. Surround yourself with growth-minded people. The people you surround yourself with can have a significant impact on your mindset. Seek out those who encourage growth, learning, and perseverance. Their attitude and support will inspire you to keep pushing forward, especially when the going gets tough. 5. Practice gratitude for the challenge. When you face a difficulty, instead of resisting it, thank it for the opportunity it presents. Every challenge is a chance to grow and develop. By embracing it with gratitude, you shift your energy from frustration to openness. This practice will allow you to face challenges with a sense of curiosity and eagerness to learn. Your mantra for the day: I embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. Repeat this mantra whenever you encounter a difficult situation. It will help you shift your focus from fear or frustration to possibility and growth. Let me share another example to illustrate the power of a growth mindset. Walt Disney was told by a newspaper editor that he lacked imagination and had no good ideas. Imagine how that feedback could have crushed his spirit. But instead of quitting, Disney continued to believe in his vision, eventually creating one of the most successful entertainment empires in the world. He didn't see rejection as the end, he saw it as a stepping stone to greater things. Challenges are not to be feared, they are to be embraced. With a growth mindset, every setback becomes an opportunity to learn, to adapt, and to improve. Just like Michael Jordan, J.K. Rowling, and Walt Disney, you too have the power to turn your struggles into triumphs. Embrace challenges as opportunities for growth, and watch how your life transforms, one lesson at a time. 9. Learn to let go, release what no longer serves you. Have you ever felt weighed down by something, but couldn't figure out what it was? Maybe it's a thought, a habit, a past relationship, or an old belief you've carried with you for years. It's like carrying a heavy bag through life, constantly dragging something behind you, but not fully understanding its weight until you stop and set it down. The truth is, we all hold on to things that no longer serve us, and letting go of them is one of the most freeing and empowering acts we can do for ourselves. But how do we let go? And more importantly, why is it so difficult? We often hold on to things because they provide us with a sense of security or identity. Even if they hurt us, they feel familiar, and in a world full of uncertainty, that familiarity can be comforting. But here's the key: the longer we hold on to things that no longer serve us, the more we limit our ability to grow. Like a plant that is kept in a pot too small for its roots, we can only grow so much before we need to release what's holding us back. Buddhist philosophy teaches us about the importance of non-attachment, the understanding that everything in life is impermanent. Nothing lasts forever. Relationships, successes, possessions, they all come and go. Attachment to things, people, or outcomes creates suffering because we desperately cling to them, even when they no longer contribute to our well-being. The Buddha said, "You only lose what you cling to." The act of holding on, even to something that's no longer beneficial, only causes more pain and limits our ability to move forward. Take a moment and ask yourself, what am I holding on to that's no longer serving me? Is it a past failure that keeps haunting you? An old belief about yourself that limits your potential? A relationship that no longer brings joy or growth? The truth is that what you hold on to shapes your future. If you hold on to the past, it's like trying to walk forward while looking backward. You'll stumble, trip, and never quite get where you want to go. Think about the story of the monk and the river. There was once a monk and his disciple walking through a forest. They came across a woman who needed help crossing a river. The monk, without hesitation, picked her up and carried her across. After they crossed, the monk set her down gently on the other side, and they continued their journey. Hours later, the disciple, still troubled, asked the monk, "Master, why did you carry that woman? We are not supposed to touch women." The monk replied, "I set her down hours ago. Why are you still carrying her?" This story beautifully illustrates how we often cling to burdens long after we should have let them go. The monk had carried the woman, helped her, and then moved on. But his disciple kept carrying her in his mind, even though she was long gone. We often do the same thing: we carry emotional baggage, past regrets, grudges, or old wounds, long after they've lost their power. Letting go is not about indifference or forgetting. It's about making space for what's new, what's next. It's about creating room for growth, healing, and new opportunities. When we let go, we free ourselves from the chains of the past, allowing ourselves to be present, open, and ready for what the future holds. Let's take the example of Steve Jobs, who faced many setbacks in his career. One of the most significant moments came when he was ousted from Apple, the company he had founded. Instead of holding on to resentment and bitterness, Jobs chose to let go of that painful chapter and focused on what was next. He went on to create Pixar, which revolutionized animation, and later returned to Apple, where he helped create the groundbreaking products that defined the 21st century. He didn't let his past failures define him, he let them go and embraced the next opportunity. But letting go doesn't always come easy. We often hold on because we fear the unknown, and we believe that what we're holding on to, whether it's an old habit, a toxic relationship, or an outdated belief, is somehow safer than letting it go. However, clinging to the past can only keep us stuck in patterns of pain and limitation. To truly let go, we need to start by acknowledging what we're holding on to. Here's a simple practice: take a moment each day to reflect. whether through journaling or quiet contemplation, and ask yourself, what am I holding on to that no longer serves me? It might be an emotion, a memory, a person, or a limiting belief. When you identify it, ask yourself, what would happen if I let this go? For example, if you're holding on to anger towards someone who hurt you in the past, imagine how your life might shift if you let that anger go. How much energy would you free up for peace and growth? Would you feel lighter? What new opportunities would open up if you let go of the need to hold on to the past? Another helpful practice is to release attachment to outcomes. So often, we focus on how things should turn out, and when they don't go according to plan, we feel disappointed. But life doesn't always unfold the way we expect. Sometimes, the outcome we desire isn't what's best for us. Trust that when things don't go as planned, it's because something better is waiting for you. Letting go of attachment to specific outcomes allows you to stay open to the many possibilities that life offers. Your mantra for the day: I release what no longer serves me. I make space for what is meant for me. Repeat this whenever you feel the urge to hold on to something that's no longer helpful. Let it remind you that you are making room for new possibilities by letting go of the past. Consider Oprah Winfrey, who endured years of hardship and struggle before rising to the pinnacle of success. Oprah didn't hold on to her painful past or let it define her. She chose to let go of the negative stories she had been told about herself and instead, embraced the power of her own story. Her ability to let go of the weight of her past and move forward with purpose is a key reason for her success. Letting go isn't about forgetting, it's about releasing the hold that the past has on you. When you let go, you free yourself from unnecessary burdens and create space for growth, peace, and new experiences. You stop being weighed down by things that no longer serve you, and you open yourself up to the possibilities of the present and future. The process of letting go is liberating. It allows you to release emotional baggage, outdated beliefs, and attachments that keep you stuck. When you let go, you create space for growth, healing, and new opportunities. Release what no longer serves you, and embrace the freedom of a lighter, more open heart. 10. Inspire others by leading authentically. Have you ever been truly inspired by someone who was unapologetically themselves? Someone who led with integrity, who stayed true to their beliefs, and who acted from a place of deep authenticity? It's powerful, isn't it? When someone leads with their true self, it creates a ripple effect, inspiring everyone around them. The thing is, you have the ability to inspire others, too, but it starts with leading authentically, being true to who you are, and embracing your unique path in life. Authentic leadership isn't about seeking recognition or approval, it's about being grounded in your values and acting from a place of integrity. When you live and lead authentically, you give others permission to do the same. You create a space where honesty, vulnerability, and authenticity can flourish. People are drawn to authenticity because it feels real, relatable, and empowering. When you show up as your true self, you invite others to do the same. Think about Mahatma Gandhi, for example. He didn't just talk about peace and justice, he lived it. Gandhi led by example, standing up for what he believed in, even when it was difficult. He didn't need to seek approval from others, he led with authenticity, and that's what inspired millions of people to join him in his fight for independence and human rights. His authentic leadership was rooted in his values of nonviolence, truth, and self-discipline, and his actions spoke louder than any words could. Buddhism teaches us that true leadership comes from within. The Buddha himself didn't seek followers or recognition. He simply shared the teachings that were true to his heart, and people followed because they saw the sincerity and wisdom in his actions. Authentic leadership is not about being perfect, it's about being real. It's about acknowledging your flaws, embracing your journey, and living in alignment with your deepest values. When you lead authentically, your actions become the light that guides others. But why does authentic leadership matter so much? It's because authenticity breeds trust. When people see that you are true to yourself, they trust you more. They know that your decisions and actions come from a place of honesty and integrity, not from a desire to please or impress. When you lead from a place of authenticity, you build deeper, more meaningful connections with those around you. Take Nelson Mandela as another example. After spending 27 years in prison, he didn't come out with a desire for revenge or power. Instead, he chose to lead with forgiveness, compassion, and reconciliation. His authenticity, his deep belief in justice, and his refusal to be consumed by hatred were the foundation of his leadership. Mandela's authenticity inspired not only his country but the world. His leadership wasn't about personal gain, it was about serving a higher purpose. So how can we begin to lead authentically in our own lives? The first step is to identify your core values. What are the principles that guide your life? Is it honesty? Compassion? Integrity? Growth? When you know your values, you have a clear compass for how to navigate the world. Living in alignment with your values will make your actions resonate with others. You won't have to force your leadership, it will flow naturally from who you are. Once you know your values, the next step is to make decisions based on them. Every day, you're faced with choices. In your work, relationships, and personal life, you have the power to choose actions that reflect your values. When you act in alignment with your true self, you lead by example. You show others that it's possible to live with integrity, to stay true to your beliefs, and to make choices that reflect your deepest values. Think about Ellen DeGeneres, a woman who built her career on kindness, humor, and authenticity. Ellen's leadership isn't about being the loudest or most popular, it's about being true to who she is, making people laugh, and spreading positivity. Her ability to lead with authenticity has made her one of the most beloved figures in entertainment. People connect with her because she is unapologetically herself, and in doing so, she inspires others to be themselves as well. Vulnerability is also a key component of authentic leadership. It's easy to think that leaders need to have all the answers, that they must appear perfect or infallible. But the truth is, authentic leaders show up with humility and vulnerability. They are open about their struggles, their mistakes, and their growth. This vulnerability builds trust and deepens connections with others. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you show others that it's okay to not have everything figured out, and that's incredibly empowering. Let's take Brené Brown as an example. As a researcher on vulnerability, she's taught us that embracing vulnerability is actually a source of strength. Brené's leadership is rooted in her willingness to be vulnerable, to share her own struggles, and to lead with authenticity. Her work has inspired countless people to embrace their imperfections and lead from a place of courage and authenticity. Another important aspect of authentic leadership is consistency. When you lead authentically, your actions match your words. Consistency builds trust because people know they can rely on you to act in alignment with your values, no matter the situation. This consistency is what makes authentic leaders stand out. People feel safe and inspired by someone who is unwavering in their authenticity. Your mantra for the day: I lead with authenticity. I trust myself and my values. Say this whenever you face a difficult decision or feel the urge to compromise your authenticity. Let it remind you that true leadership comes from being true to yourself. When you lead with authenticity, you inspire others to do the same. In conclusion, leading authentically isn't about seeking recognition or accolades, it's about staying true to your values and acting with integrity. When you lead from a place of authenticity, you create a ripple effect that inspires others to embrace their own truth. Whether it's in your personal life, your work, or your community, authentic leadership has the power to transform the world around you. When you lead with authenticity, you inspire others not through your achievements, but through your commitment to being true to yourself. Your actions will speak louder than words, and your authenticity will be the light that guides others on their own path. Lead from your heart, and watch as you inspire others to do the same. Thank you for joining us on this journey here at Serenity Path. If the ideas in this video resonate with you, don't let them fade away. 2025 is the year to take action, and it's in your hands. Make the decision today to start living in alignment with your values, to embrace the challenges that come your way, and to lead your life with authenticity. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to leave a comment and share your thoughts with us. We'd love to hear how you plan to embrace change this year. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to ensure you don't miss out on future content that will guide you toward a life of peace, purpose, and personal growth. Remember, the path to transformation begins with a single step. Take that step today with us on Serenity Path. Stay focused, stay grounded, and make 2025 the year of your breakthrough.